Excuses don't build empires. No. 1. Everyone has an equal chance to succeed. If you find yourself complaining all the time, it's a good idea to stop and reflect on why that is. Are you unhappy with your life? Are you feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Maybe you're just in a bad mood. What defines you is how you react to your circumstances. Here's why. As humans, we tend to plan out our lives very neatly in our heads. Chances are, if you made it this far into the video, then you've been making some of these mistakes. But don't worry about it. Just be aware of them moving forward. At the end of the day, it's not about being perfect. It's about improving. And with that said, I'll see you guys on the next one. We set out a path that we want to follow, and we expect everything to go according to plan. However, life doesn't always work that way. There are going to be times where you face unexpected obstacles, and you'll have to change your path. Sometimes these obstacles are big and they can throw you completely off track. Other times they're small and they're easy to overcome. Either way, the point is that obstacles are a part of life. We can't avoid them forever. In fact, we should embrace them because they force us to be adaptable and resourceful. They push us outside of our comfort zones and challenge us to grow. More importantly, they help us to realize that failure is inevitable. So we're all going to fail at something at some point in our lives. And when that happens, we need to be prepared to pick ourselves up and start again. This isn't always easy, but it's important to remember that failure isn't the end of the world. It's just a setback. It's an opportunity to learn and grow. So keep that in mind the next time you face a challenge. Embrace it and use it to your advantage. Someone could be born into poverty, but that doesn't mean that they have to live their entire life in poverty. With hard work and determination, they can improve their circumstances. Someone could be born without any family support, but that doesn't mean that they have to live their life alone. With hard work and determination, they can build a strong support system. Someone could be born with physical disabilities, but that doesn't mean that they can't achieve their goals. With hard work and determination, they can find ways to overcome their disabilities and achieve success. So please understand that your circumstances do not define you. Only your actions can do that, and excuses are the worst actions that you can take. One thing that I learned recently is that a lot of people confuse being optimistic with making excuses. Let me explain this. Being optimistic is thinking that if you work hard enough, you'll eventually be able to achieve your goal. Making excuses is telling yourself that you are going to fail because of all the obstacles in your way. It's easy to be optimistic when everything is going well, but it takes true strength to remain optimistic. When faced with obstacles and adversity, when you make excuses for why you can't do something, you're essentially giving up before you even try. You're telling yourself that you're not capable of achieving your goal. But the truth is that anything is possible if you're willing to put in the work. So don't let excuses hold you back from achieving your dreams. Whatever the reason, it's important to remember that complaining is never the answer. Instead, try to focus on the positive aspects of your life and be grateful for what you have. Of course, this is easier said than done, as complaining is a natural human behavior. It's something that we all do from time to time. But it's important to be aware of how much you complain and the impact it can have on your life. People who complain a lot are often seen as negative and unattractive. They can bring down the energy of a room and make others feel uncomfortable. Additionally, when you complain, you're focusing on the negative. You're dwelling on the things that are wrong or bad, and this can cause you to miss out on the good things in life. So next time you find yourself complaining, take a step back and ask yourself whether it's really necessary. Is it productive, or is it just making you feel worse? When I say that everyone has an equal chance to succeed, what I mean is that everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. This is one of the biggest mistakes that you can make. Comparing yourself to other people is a recipe for unhappiness. You will always find people who are better off than you in some way. Comparing yourself to them will only make you feel bad about your own life. Similarly, you will also find people who are worse off than you. Comparing yourself to them will make you feel like you have no reason to complain. The bottom line is that comparing yourself to other people is a waste of time. It will only make you feel negative about your own life. Instead, you should focus on your own journey. Be grateful for what you have, and strive to be the best version of yourself. By doing this, you will be less likely to compare yourself to others and more likely to appreciate your own unique journey. We all have access to the internet. And although some people may have more privilege than others, at the end of the day, that doesn't matter. because in the grand scheme of things, even if you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth, you still need to do the work. Think about it like this. If you had a friend who was insanely talented at basketball, so talented that he could easily become a professional player if he wanted to, but he spends all of his time playing video games instead. Then he comes to you and says, "Man, I wish I could make it as a basketball player." You would tell him, "Bro, you literally have the talent to do that. Why aren't you trying?" Well, something that you have to understand is that talent doesn't guarantee success, but hard work does. There are countless examples of people who were extremely talented but failed because they didn't put in the work. Similarly, there are people who weren't very talented but worked hard and became successful anyway. Take Michael Jordan, for example. He wasn't always the best player on his high school basketball team. In fact, he was cut from the varsity squad. But he worked harder than anyone else to become the greatest player of all time. You see, every year at the start of January, there's this renewed sense of optimism. Everyone's talking about New Year's resolutions and self-improvement. It's actually one of the most popular topics on YouTube right now. So I want to take a step back and address all of you out there who are constantly making excuses for why you are not successful yet. This is going to be one of those videos that you either watch and think to yourself, "Yeah, that makes sense." Or you re-gone, "Nah, watch this," and you re-gone, "Nah, get angry because I'm calling you out." But before we go into it, just make sure to like this video if you're a real one. But yeah, this might come off a little bit harsh, but hear me out because I have 5 points that I want to discuss in this video. No. 2. Complaining is a sign of weakness. This is something that you have to understand. Complaining is a sign of weakness. No. 3. Stop comparing yourself to other people. No. 4. Stop making excuses. Listen to this carefully. Your circumstances don't define you. And no. 5. Recognize that failure is inevitable. Even though this sounds negative, it's actually a very positive thing to keep in mind. The third excuse is, we don't have enough time. We don't have enough time. You know how many excuses are made around this? Well, I don't have enough time. My schedule is so full, I don't have enough hours in the day. The only way to have enough money is to make enough money. Go out, take the money you have, invest it into an income-generating asset, and get the cash flow coming in. I need to learn more. I need to study harder. I need to read more books. I need to join more mastermind groups. None of these excuses are acceptable. Not even close. Not one of them is acceptable. It's too busy, not enough time, not enough money, not enough experience, not enough knowledge. These are all excuses. These are all lies. The only thing that matters is your commitment to excellence. The only thing that matters is your willingness to push through the pain. The only thing that matters is your ability to take action. So stop making excuses. Start taking action. I need to surround myself with smarter people. Look, I get it. I really do. Knowledge is power. And if you're lacking knowledge, it's going to be hard to succeed. But there comes a point where you just have to take action. There's this saying, knowledge without action is just a fantasy. I think that's so true. Sometimes we think that if we just read one more book, or if we just join one more mastermind group, or if we just surround ourselves with smarter people, we're going to be successful. But you know what? That's a fantasy. That's not real life. Real life is messy. Real life is complicated. Real life is full of unexpected situations, and you can't prepare for everything. You can't plan for everything. At some point, you just have to take a leap of faith. You have to trust yourself. You have to trust your gut. So yes, knowledge is power. Continue learning. Continue growing. But at some point, just take action. Do it. Do it and let the fear of not knowing enough hold you back from doing what you need to do. Once the cash starts coming in, reinvest it. Put it back into your business. That's how you grow. That's how empires are built. That's how winners are made. That's how champions are made. So please, please, please understand that you do have enough money. If you don't, go out and get a side hustle. Do whatever you need to do to make more money. Oh, but don't ever tell me you do? I'll have enough money because I can promise you 99% of the people watching this video right now have enough money to start their business. You just have to look for it. You have to get creative. The fifth excuse is we don't have enough experience. I've heard that one. I don't have enough experience. If you want to be a writer, start writing. If you want to be a public speaker, start speaking. If you want to be a painter, pick up a paintbrush. If you want to be a musician, pick up an instrument. You want to be a business owner? Start a business. You see, that's the thing about being an entrepreneur. If you want to do something, you just do it. It doesn't matter if you're experienced. In fact, I think the best time to do something is when you're not experienced yet. Because you do not know what you do not know. If you don't know something, you just figure it out. You have no choice. But if you're overthinking it, if you're thinking I don't have enough experience, you're going to talk yourself out of doing it. And that's what happened to me. For years, I wanted to be a writer, but I never wrote anything. I would always talk myself out of it. I don't have enough experience. I'm not good enough. I'm not talented enough. Stop it. Stop making excuses. Figure it out. Doesn't matter if you're experienced or not. Do it anyway. It's so easy to say I don't have enough experience. But the reality is that you actually do have enough experience. You just have to apply it. And guess what? Experience is overrated anyway. Some of the most successful people I know didn't get there through experience. They got there through sheer grit and determination. They got there because they were willing to figure things out as they went along. They didn't let the fact that they were unexperienced stop them from doing what they needed to do. And neither should you. That's pretty simple. How do you make more money? You build more income streams. You start a side hustle. You do something on the weekends. You pick up an extra shift. I don't care what you do. There are multiple ways to make more money. The only way to have more money is to make more money. But people say they don't have enough money to start their business, to start investing. Here's what I'll tell you. When I was getting started, I had $5,000 in my bank account. Listen, it doesn't matter if you're 18 or 80. You have the same 24 hours a day. You have the same 168 hours a week. It's not about the hours. You could even do this for just 30 minutes a day. This book will be done in 3 months if you just commit to 30 minutes a day. But people say they don't have time. They truly believe that. So why does everyone have time for Netflix? Why does everyone have time to scroll down social media feed, but no one has time to build an empire? Come on, man. What are you telling me? Everyone has time for nonsense, but they say they don't have time to make their dreams come true. That is an absolute lie. Let me tell you something. I was recently in Europe for 2 weeks. I was traveling all over. When I landed back here, there were like 17 messages from my business partner. Okay, he was freaking out because I wasn't responding. It's like, dude, what happened? I've been blowing up your phone. I said I was out of the office. I was on vacation. He says, but you didn't reply to any emails. You didn't respond to any text messages. I said I was on vacation. And then he sent me a message, and he said, this is a prime example of what I'm talking about. I said, what do you mean? He says, you can find time for everything except for what's important. That is the truth. We all find time for what's important. So stop saying you don't have time. If you had time, what would you be doing right now? Because I know what I would be doing. I'd be either building an empire or I'd be spending more time with my family. I'd be doing something that's really important. If you're not building an empire, what are you doing watching this video right now? Right now. So you do have time. Stop making excuses. Enough with the excuses. Here's the 4th excuse. We don't have enough money. I hear that a lot. I don't have enough money.